What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News Round 2, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. In an article in Essential Sports, Anthony Joshua opens up on the 6 weeks of pure hell after the Andy Ruiz loss. Andy Ruiz was left speechless when Andy Ruiz Jr. knocked him out for the heavyweight titles in their original encounter in June 1st, 2019. It was the British fighter's first and only loss of his pro boxing career, ending his 22-fight win streak. After the fight, Anthony Joshua was brutally scrutinized by his critics. However, he doesn't consider it to be an ill fate. Instead, he bills the loss as a blessing in disguise. AJ newly connected with GQ and reflected on his loss to Ruiz Jr. He appeared optimistic about it and stated how he reconstructed himself from that point. Anthony Joshua needed the loss to know himself. Okay. He said he walked into the fight as a heavy favorite while the Mexican was the underdog. The fight kicked off as expected. Joshua dominated his rival. It appeared to be an easy fight for the Briton until Ruiz offered some serious action. In the 7th round, Ruiz struck down Joshua to cement a major upset in history of heavyweight boxing. Looking back at the loss, Joshua said this. He said, "There were certain things I was talking about perhaps 2 years ahead of that loss, and the defeat just showcased them. I know people say crazy things like, oh, we were planning on that loss, but it really was a blessing in disguise. It highlighted everything I've been concerned about. After that, it was simple. These are the things that I've been talking about. Now you need to listen." Okay. So, of course, Joshua reclaimed that, avenged that loss the very next year. The same year, basically, the very next fight. And he said, "Losing to Andy made me rethink and reconstruct. I took the positives out of it, but it wasn't easy. My training camp was 6 weeks of pure hell." Joshua will defend his titles again. However, that's pretty much the end of the video or the article. And it's kind of, to me, let me counterpunch. Okay, first of all, Joshua didn't come in and dominate the fight. He didn't dominate. I mean, it was pretty even. But if you were going to give, you could call the first and second round swing rounds. But the way this article was, it was like, hey, yeah, he came in, and dominated. And then the 7th round, he was beat down. No, he got caught in the 3rd round. He dropped Andy in the 3rd round. And it caused him to leave himself open because he was trying to finish Andy off. But Andy wasn't going anywhere. He stayed cool, poised, collect, and he waited for his openings. He rode with the right hand. He dipped under the left hook. He avoided some uppercuts, and he threw his own left hook and landing, and it landed in a perfect place for Anthony Joshua, and the rest is history. Did Joshua get up? Yes. Did he get up after the second knockdown? Yes, he did. But that was the end of the round, okay? So rounds 4 and 5, okay, he looked like he was coming back. It wasn't resistance. He did show a pretty good fight, but you could tell he was still a wounded animal, okay? So it wasn't what this article betrays of that fight. It was one of the most exciting fights of 2019, and I know it actually made headlines. It went viral because you look at Andy Ruiz like this, you look at Anthony Joshua like this, and you think to yourself like, Leo, there's no way in Hades that Andy Ruiz has a chance. But people forget, Andy Ruiz's first loss came to a heavyweight title attempt, and it ended in a split decision. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that, don't understand that. And the thing that interests me about this article is what he said. It was it was 6 weeks of pure hell. So he said his training camp was, okay? So if it's his training camp, I would like to know the stringent things, because for what I know of Anthony Joshua, he works out hard anyway. He's pretty dedicated to whatever comes. So maybe the Klitschko mentorship and other things that they implemented along with the diet, maybe that what made it so different. Because a lot of times you can lift weights, because I used to go to the gym and lift a lot of heavy weights until I got back into martial arts. and I started doing a lot of calisthenics as I involved myself into the world of MMA. Okay. And when I did that, I found out very easily that this shit is nothing like lifting weights. Okay. So if he's referring to that, I can understand that because I was in that situation when I started, getting right back into martial arts a little bit over 10 years ago. And the workouts are excessive. It's high extreme sports. You burn calories and you use muscles that you haven't used in a long time. And maybe that's what he was referring to. However, I only have to assume because we don't really know what he was saying because it really didn't go into detail, on what his regimen, his exercise regimen was and what it consisted of. However, you could see the weight loss, the evident weight loss in Anthony Joshua. You could see it clear as day. He dropped about 20 pounds because he was about 253. He came in at about 230 something. So he lost about 20 pounds and he slimmed down, but you could tell he was ready to fight. But anyway, I'm really glad for Anthony Joshua to kind of take baby steps when it comes to opening up about a loss, because you can be proud as you want to be. Okay, you can take it on the chin, take it like a man, do whatever you want to do. But actuality, some part of you has to be hurt. You know what I mean? But this, is talking about the workout regimen. And anyway, you guys tell me what you think Anthony Joshua meant by 6 weeks of pure hell. Please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.